the several questions being asked around what next for Sheikh Hasina lies the first big question on what led to Sheikh Hasina's downfall in Bangladesh. Why did she have to resign and depart from Bangladesh? Is it solely to be seen as the victory of Bangladesh's students' movement? Or should one explore the several external pressures that Sheikh Hasina and her Awami League were facing to understand if the two could be linked? So yes, it could be as simple as this being a result of the protests that initially broke out in July against the quota system in government jobs and how it then evolved into a broader revolt coupled with other internal factors like growing frustration of the youth around job stagnation in private sector, high inflation after a relatively high growth period, declining growth, dwindling foreign exchange reserves and perhaps her growing arrogance, as some say. Let's also not forget that on 14 July, Hasina made a controversial statement referring to the Razakars, which also contributed to an escalation in students' protest. But all these reasons don't mean there wasn't more brewing beneath it all. Could this be a result of an external sabotage, as is being alleged by Hasina's supporters? There are few players that need to be discussed. Let's start with Pakistan. Sheikh Hasina's party has been accusing Pakistan of interfering in the internal affairs of the country through its tactic support and active guidance to the student protesters in the country. Remember, Pakistan's interests in ousting Hasina cannot be ruled out given the history the two share. After Bangladesh Liberation War, Sheikh Hasina has had every reason to be anti-Pakistan. Pakistan Army jailed her father, also slaughtered thousands of Bangladeshis, and same goes for Pakistan. Till date, Pakistan Army has held the 1971 war against Sheikh Hasina. What makes it more complicated is the relationship the two main opposition parties in the country enjoy with Pakistan. The first is Jamaat-e-Islami, an Islamist group which has been working to implement the Islamic code of life and is accused of collaborating with Pakistani forces through the years. The second big opposition force is the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or the BNP, led by Khalida Zia, which is also believed to be backed by Pakistan Army and ISI, especially in its bid to come back to power in the country. In fact, the Sheikh Hasina administration is often alleged that ISI has been orchestrating plans in collaboration with Tariq Rahman, who is not only Khalida Zia's son, but also the acting chairman of BNP and operates from his base in London. Now, the other player being spoken of by Hasina's party is the United States. In fact, what gave fuel to these speculations is the remark made by Hasina months after winning the elections and securing a fifth straight term for her government. She informed her party men at a meeting that she was offered a hassle-free re-election if she allowed a foreign country to build an air base inside Bangladesh. She emphasized that the offer came from a white man and also suspected that declining the offer would mean trouble for her. But she was ready to fight a battle both at home and abroad and conveyed the same to her party. Remember, Washington has indeed been critical of Sheikh Hasina and also maintained that the recent re-election hasn't been free or fair. Hasina, in fact, has been accusing the United States of plotting a regime change in Dhaka. Remember, these allegations against a world player like the United States aren't new. Imran Khan also held the United States responsible for toppling his government in Pakistan. And while there is no hard proof to substantiate these claims, the possibility cannot be ruled out in its entirety. While the US meddling angle is being alleged by Hasina's party, it will have to be proven. Viewers, while one fact is that the 15-year dominance of Sheikh Hasina has come to an end, another fact is that despite facing several internal problems, she kept radical Islamists at bay, and that wasn't lost on India. But was that enough for the United States? Doesn't look like, because America under Joe Biden was constantly ramping up pressure against Dhaka while giving a free pass to the likes of Pakistan, Egypt and also Saudi Arabia. The rest, which way this goes, only time will tell, but the needle could be pointing at anyone.